bin's wieder, Kesonai Haram, hier mit meinem Let's Play von Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Beim letzten Mal haben wir herausgefunden, dass vor dem Tod von Dr. Buff er es geschafft hat, das Rätsel um den Orb aufzudecken, das zu lösen. Und ja, eigentlich sollte es dann zu 100% klar sein, dass es das Relikt ist, nachdem die Defiant Dragons her sind. Und warum geht der Prozess dann immer noch weiter? Weil Phoenix plötzlich hier meinte, nein, das kann nicht sein, die Prophezeiung hat sich schließlich noch nicht erfüllt. Ihr habt keine Kräfte, also nee. There's something wrong. Irgendwas stimmt mit ihm nicht. Yeah. Und was das noch ist, mal gucken. 17. Mai, District Court, Courtroom Number 6. Alright, court is once again back in session! Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised! We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power, yet the relic in question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test. I see! He's sticking with that ridiculous argument? Furthermore, even if it's the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff. Objection. What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor. Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that a rebel did, in fact, kill Dr. Buff. What? A rebel! You may call your witness! I guess Mr. Wright thought another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game? Kann nicht mehr sprechen. Nicht du schon wieder! Geh weg! Fellow citizens, it is I, politician, the once and future representative of the people. Geh weg, Trump 2.0! Jeez, not him again. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case. How very convenient. Geh weg. Geh einfach weg. It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Rebel snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice? A suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. You saw the murder as it happened? And you're just telling us now because? I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political Greeks. The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could very well be the corner of a suitcase. Objection. But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. What's that supposed to mean? We have physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed the doctor's blood on Mr. Arabel's suitcase. Really? But how does that prove Mr. Arabel used it as a weapon? You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints. I forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma. Ja, schon, aber es ist immerhin seiner. Es ist immer noch sein Koffer. Also, come on! Für mich ist das kein Totschlagargument. The turnabout terror strikes again. This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice. Herr, that's crime. Na gut, du willst einen Kampf. Vor allem auch du, Felix. Aber besonders du! Du Wichskrücke. Den kannst du haben. Bombenangriff. He snuck up from behind? So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Arabel was there? That's right. He was usually absorbed in a book. I see. What did you see Mr. Arabel do next? He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how... Ich sag mal nichts zum Letzten. Die Sache von wegen, dass der Doktor ein Buch gelesen hat. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder? That's vital testimony. Very well! The witness will please send that statement to his testimony! The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. Jetzt hast du dich verraten, du Wichser! Wenn er tatsächlich nämlich während der Zeit ein Buch gelesen habe, denn... sagen wir mal so, mit dem guten Doktor, das Alter hat zugeschlagen und... ja, man kennt das wahrscheinlich, die Jüngeren von euch, wenn ihr irgendwie mal eure Eltern beobachtet habt, wie sie mal ein Buch gelesen haben oder sowas. Inzwischen sind seine Augen nicht mehr so gut, weshalb er zum Lesen eine Brille braucht. Und er hat die Brille zurzeit nicht angehabt. The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book, you say? I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable. That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I am anything but 100% reliable. It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. I'm sorry, Mr. Attition Wimperson, but I'm going to have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what? I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Arabel hit him over the head. But then the doctor would have been facing him, Surely he would have seen him and tried to run? The Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving. Sounds more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk? Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered. Meine Fresse, mittlerweile sind... Ah. Warum beschäftigen wir uns überhaupt mit dir? Du bist ein lausiger Zeuge! So that's what you saw! Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me! Do you have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck while nodding off? Yeah. There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny. Is that so? Then will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this? Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness' claim that he saw the doctor nodding off. Das wäre... Wo haben wir das denn? A diagram of the study? Mr. Attention Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off. Here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would block the witness' line of sight. Oh yes, I believe you're right! But... Ah!
Objection!
The fact remains, my client knew that the suitcase was a murder weapon. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Attention Wimperson have seen the dosing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from... right here. Das geht natürlich nur, wenn auch innerhalb des Gebäudes ist. You've got to be kidding! But it is indeed. But everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study? But that's the scene of the crime! I know. Mr. Attention Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room. Apollo, are you suggesting? Mr. Attention Wimperson! Weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase? What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small thin man, whereas Mr. Rebel has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go. That's right, he's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? The rebel that's a rebel is the doctor's killer. As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on that. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo. Oh, I will. And with his own technique, no less. If Mr. Attention Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, We'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. I'm going to turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you taught me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes? Well, this should be interesting! Mr. Attention Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer and how was the murder weapon really used? So the important thing here is the position of the victim and killer relative to each other! Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use. Very well, Mr. Justice! When was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime? Der dürfte dann, ja, der dürfte dann hier irgendwo gewesen sein. Also nahe der Kaffeebar. Wenn nicht sogar, ja, Kaffeebar halt. Ah! Pingeliges Spiel ist pingelig! Das ist jetzt schon der zweite, den ich losen muss, nur weil das Spiel so mega pingelig ist. Fick dich! Ne, jetzt komm! Ach Mann! Oder habe ich mich jetzt gerade kurz verlesen? Dr. Buffs Killer. Ich hab mich verlesen. Sorry, Leute. Ich dachte, es geht um den Doktor und nicht um den Mörder. Fick my life. Hier. So. Fick dich, Pingeligkeit. Kein Bock mehr. Oh. That's... This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in two dimensions, let's think in three. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one politician Wimperson, who used a suitcase. He pushed it from the second floor. And set it hurtling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he'd finished reading it, or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer ought to hide it in that mountain of books. That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar existiert. The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you. You are? This right here is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar. An dem besagten Buch, wo auch das Blut ist, ist nämlich auch Kaffee. Na? So, ich habe keinen Bock jetzt nochmal wegen Pingeligkeit oder eigener Blödheit nochmal zu büßen. This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. Huh? One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head. Causing both his blood and his coffee to splatter onto it. Well, Mr. Attention One Person. What motive could I have possibly had to kill the Dr. Buff? And there it is, that final excuse cornered killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you. That you killed him with your own hands! Isn't that right, Mr. Attention Wimperson? That is... Apollo! Don't! Please don't accuse my client of murder! Bist du verrückt? Mittlerweile musst auch du sehen, dass er Dreck am Stecken hat. Huh? What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? Eben, warum würdest du das sagen? Guck mal, auf seiner Stirn steht doch schon schuldig. Come on! Okay, aber warum er sich so benimmt, warum er jetzt so eine Bitte aussprechen muss, die einfach nur... Beim nächsten Mal. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung immer gern gesehen. Das war's von meiner Seite. Wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. See you guys.